talk of the town, of course, is the transformation of Temple Town with respect to Ayodhya, as tourism for religious purposes has clearly taken center stage. To discuss this and lots more, joining in, we have Samujjwal Ghosh, CEO at the House of Abhinandan Lodha, as well as Prashant Thakur, Regional Director and Head Research at ANAROCK Group. Thank you both so much for taking time out and joining in. Good to have you on board. And to begin with then, Prashant, let's just understand how we're looking at this massive real estate boom then in Ayodhya. Has there been a rise in demand? Have there been rise in inquiries?
I think after this verdict and this temple getting inaugurated, there has been a huge influx of capital interest, and many hospitality companies are taking position. So just to give you kind of an idea of the influx of tourists that is going to propel the economy of Ayodhya. So at any given point of time, the local population to tourist ratio is going to be 1:10. So that itself speaks about the volume of economic activity that is going to happen. And as a result, real estate always follows a couple of basic principles. One is, the sentiment. The one is the economic viability and the infrastructure. And all these three factors, I think, have really propelled. We have seen almost 10 to 20% fold jump in the land prices over there. And this is majorly due to the fact of now connectivity being seamless. The infrastructure is taking shape. As we speak, we have got close to 15 hotel permits by the government. 30,000 worth of investment has already gone in terms of infrastructure upgrade. And this temple town is not only going to act as an economic center, but also a cultural hub. And if you combine the entire region, including Kashi Vishwanath corridor, Banaras, and Ayodhya, I think the entire belt is going to see a massive, and it has already seen a massive jump in the land prices, interest from developers and buyers, especially hospitality. And also in the outskirts of Ayodhya, we are seeing a massive interest for second homes and senior. So that's where we stand as of now.
Sure. Samujjwal, hi, morning. Want to get you in on the discussion as well, because you're the one who's actually acquired the 300 crore rupee land parcel, right, in Ayodhya. What are the plans? What do you plan to develop there?
So, largely our land acquisition philosophy basically lies in identifying the infrastructure growth corridors of national importance, which are either naturally endowed or tourism hotspots. And as a part of the strategy, HOABL plans to invest about 3,000 crores in Uttar Pradesh, and we wanted to make Ayodhya the starting point of our journey in UP, and followed by Vrindavan and Banaras. So, as far as this specific development is concerned, we have pledged an investment of over 1,200 crores in Ayodhya, and HOABL will be developing a world-class private enclave called the Sarayu, which is supposed to be the pride of Ayodhya and within a vast expanse of 51 acres. This project will primarily include residential plots, villas, and along with high-rise luxury apartments. Actually, the coup has been that to initiate this ambitious venture, we have forged a strategic alliance with Leela Palaces, Hotels and Resorts, and together we plan to construct a luxury palace hotel at the Sarayu on the bank of very close to the temple. This will be Ayodhya's first 100-key five-star hotel, and which will be the cornerstone of our development. We intend to invest around 450 crores in its development, the hotel's development, and the project is touted. The development of the hotel is touted to be completed by March 2028, which will be a pretty significant milestone in our commitment towards Ayodhya's economic and cultural advancement. So that's largely what the HOABL plan is to begin with at Ayodhya.
I want to establish that what has been the quantum jump of real estate prices in terms of where they have moved. What was the prices in the city of Ayodhya and what it is now? We look at city and outskirts both. I'll just use my graphic, my sheet for reference. In 2019, before the verdict, the prices were between 400 to 700 rupees per square foot. Now they've gone to 1500 to about 3000 rupees per square foot. Similarly, outside the city, they were between 1000 to 200 rupees a square foot. Now they have gone to 4000 to about 6000 rupees a square foot. Mr. Ghosh, my question is, what is affordable and what is not affordable? And where do you think the prices will settle, both in outskirts of Ayodhya and where they would? I mean, what is that watermark level at which the prices will settle?
So, to answer that question, I guess one needs to kind of understand that what are the hallmarks of this uh, city, and therefore what are the characteristics of our development. So I think Ayodhya largely, as we would have read, there is absolutely uh, uh, uncertainty of clear title land, and hence the land at Ayodhya is absolutely scarce. There is a very strong spiritual and tourism sentiment which is growing. It is the investment epicenter for the government, for the central government. And as far as the pricing is concerned, what we have largely seen is that the real estate prices have soared to almost 6x to 10x levels in Ayodhya in the last 3 to 5 years, depending on the proximity to the Ram Janmabhoomi temple. And as the temple completion nears and the consecration on the 22nd of January 2024, the land inquiries have just surpassed. So, from a numerical perspective, at a point of time, we have, as far as our project, our development is concerned, we have received inquiries to the tune of at a pricing of 15,000 square feet and upwards for the plotted land development. And and it is primarily led by the fact that and what has been the most encouraging part as far as our understanding of the demand is concerned is that because of the scarcity of clear title land at Ayodhya, the kind of product that we are developing, uh, the establishment of the Leela Hotel within the premise of the development.
Right. Fair point. So I'm just going to encourage Prashant also on that same point. So Prashant, where do you think prices now will settle? Let me ask you a very frank question on behalf of our viewers. Given that our religious tourism has taken up, whether it's Ayodhya or Kashi, it really could be Mathura, do you think one should look at investing into land parcels in and around the theme of religious tourism? Do you think there is money to be made? Do you think a CAGR return of 15-20% for next couple of years is expected if one is looking at buying land parcels or even buying flats in and around these religious places? Prashant, question is for you.
I would not encourage for retail buyers for land, but yes, I think buying an apartment or let's say some kind of property which is in terms of second home, senior home is recommended, because after a certain point of time the investing in land is, if you don't buy it in a big parcel, it doesn't make sense for individual investor. And also considering the religious sentiment of the city, I think the land that you will see, first of all, would be sold at a very high price, and any further appreciation from here would not be as meaningful as the expectation might run. So in a nutshell, I want to be honest that we have seen enough run up. As I said, that immediately after the verdict came in 2019, we saw a price jump of 25 to 30%. And after, in the last 5 years, the prices have already shot up by 10 to 20 folds. So I think one has to be really judicious in terms of the size of land parcel is being bought, the location that it is being bought, and what is the purpose. So if you want to buy it, hold it, and just exit, I don't think it makes sense. I think for that, you should opt for some apartments or flats over there. Definitely, it's going to give a good return.
Your data is indicating that land prices have gone up by 10 to 20 times. Is that correct? Or am I missing a
Yes.
zero here?
In last 5 years, it has shot up.
10 to
Because
20 times.
yes, you see, we need to understand that there's a huge shortage of land within the city limit, and in the anticipation of the positive verdict, the land prices had already started to shoot up. And then in terms of I have a sentiment value attached to the land, for example, within city limit. Whatever the price was being asked initially is being transacted. So that's where the sudden spike that we have seen, and that's the reason I am a bit skeptical for an individual investor to enter. It makes good commercial sense for big hospitality companies, but I think whenever the sentiments are high, the retail investors, or let's say a person who's buying for an investment point of view, should exercise some caution. I would suggest let the euphoria settle down and then think of making an investment.
Mr. Ghosh, closing comments from you. The same question what I asked Prashant.
Sure.
Somebody is watching the show. Would you
So
encourage?
definitely, yes. I mean, the pricing dynamics in Ayodhya is extremely unique because it's extremely supply-starved market. In fact, unencumbered land in Ayodhya, especially near the temple influence zone, is absolutely rare. Therefore, my personal belief is that wherever there is a credible proposition from trusted land developers, will always command a premium. In fact, we are seeing, I mean, in a recent government auction, bidders agreed to pay almost 1.5 lakh square feet per square meter for raw land, which is almost a 10x jump in 5 years. The bidding price was at around 88,000 square meters, and it was finally sold at a lakh plus a lakh per square meter as far as the pricing is concerned. So yes, the point that I would like to make here is that it makes immense sense considering the considering the fact that the mix of tourism, infrastructural development, and the strong spiritual sentiment is going to augur great growth, even as far as the retail investor is concerned, because it is just not becoming a spiritual tourism center, but also is becoming a center of commerce because of the hotels, residential developments, so on and so forth. So land will be rare, land will be scarce, and whenever there is scarcity, it has got a direct impact as far as pricing is concerned. So and the kind of investment which is almost the government intends to invest almost 85,000 crore rupees over the next 10 years. So all of this are the makings of how the city will evolve. The temple trust suggests that with the mandir opening, there will be almost 80,000 to 1 lakh visitors every day. I mean, Vatican City gets about 5 million visitors every year, and you're talking about almost 35 crore plus visitors every year. So those are extremely telling numbers to indicate the economic potential of the city, and thereby how it will benefit even retail investors for that matter.
Gentlemen, appreciate your time. Thank you for joining in and telling us a lot more about the Ayodhya mega opportunity.